Welcome back to Courtroom Simulator. In the last episode, this judge wanted to have evidence for us, and now we're going to see what evidence he has for us. Why can't I? Okay, there we go. I don't know what the heck's wrong with that thing. Anyway, oh, it's you, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm sad because I almost got a person convicted for murder. It appears that His Honor is still a bit dispirited. I would be dispirited if I saw someone to go to murder. For the first time today, I experienced what it's like to stand at the witness stand. I now have a greater appreciation for just how hard it is to give testimony. I know, right? All you have to do is talk the truth, man.
Well, there's no reason for you to be all depressed about it, Your Honor. As a judge, no one expects you to think about anything other than the verdict.
Wow. Francisca, there's no need to further depress His Honor.
But I'm not trying to, Miles.
I don't understand why she's depressing him. Your Honor. Your Honor, I've come to collect the evidence that was to be transferred to me. Your Honor, the evidence? Your Honor! Oh, you! Yes, can I help you? Oh, God, he was dizzy the entire time. I'd like to collect the evidence now, sir.
Your Honor, do you think you can just stay focused just long enough to at least do your job?
Wow, you're angry. Yes, I'm sorry. And I would, except that the defense attorney has yet to arrive. She's busy with the investigation. So let's keep this brief, shall we? I like that idea. Before she comes in and ruins everything? Very well, in that case, please confirm that all the pieces of evidence are present. How can I do that? I don't know what they look like. Using the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell are also included, so please go ahead and use them in your... Sorry about that. Investigation into your case. Understood, Your Honor. Did I get cough on my mic? No, I didn't. Whatever. The pieces of evidence that were used in the murder of those two men. This could be a very good chance for me to find new leads regarding their case. That's a good idea. Maybe even something that will finally lead me to the truth. I like the idea. I've placed all the evidence over at the prosecutor's bench for you. Isn't that the defense attorney's bench? Isn't the one to the left the defense, right, prosecutor? Or is that just a clever lie they made up? Alright, whatever. Can I be back to judge, please? Pretty sure I can be a better judge than he can. Whatever, not important right now. So this is the evidence related to today's Cadopian Embassy trial from Mr. Faraday's bag.
You mean the evidence bag that was on the table in lobby number 2, right?
Yes, finally, we can now take a look at the evidence itself and not just data about them. What's the piece of paper on the other side of the bench? Let's be sure to thoroughly examine them while we have the time.
Agreed. I want to take a good look at all of the evidence from the embassy murder too.
And why is that?
Because I still don't fully understand what today's trial is about.
Are you still... Why are you hitting me? It's not my fault you don't know anything.
And don't you try to order me around just because Papa chose you today.
Oh, wow, she's angry about that? Someone gets jealous fast. I see someone is still sore about plot not being picked by Mr. Von Karma.
It's also real to see the knife up close.
Didn't we see the knife, maybe a couple of feet away from us when it was jammed inside somebody? So we have the knife, the gun and envelope. And what's this organizer doing here? When did we ever see an envelope? Oh, that's right. I completely forgot to tell you. About what, Your Honor? They found Mr. Faraday's personal organizer inside that evidence bag of his. Detective Bod requested it to be passed along to you. He said it will help the investigation. Well, if Bod says so, it probably is right. Detective Bod said that?
What a strange stroke of luck.
Well, never look a gift horse in the mouth. We might as well flip through it. I don't understand that metaphor. I won't rest until I've inspected everything. So let's inspect everything. Alright, so let's start with the most obvious thing, the organizer. Mr. Faraday's organizer. It appears he was in the habit of using it.
It looks like he wrote this entire strategy for getting Mr. Rell convicted down in here.
I've collected the evidence I needed to prove that Rell was the killer. Between the handgun Rell on him was arrested and the surveillance tape, I'll be able to prove that he was the one. It appears that Mr. Faraday honestly believed that Mr. Rell was the killer in the case. Sound of his handgun going off was recorded to superb clarity of the surveillance video. I also have evidence that I can use to prove that Rell is not the real yatagarasu. Why does it matter if he was the yatagarasu or not? Doesn't it still mean that he's a murderer? No matter how he may try to play it, as long as I have the yatagarasu's key, I can prove he's a phony. If I present it to him in court, it should clear everything up. And he apparently also had a definitive piece of evidence. It's a long battle. I hope this will finally bring it to an end. I believe that Mr. Faraday was well prepared to discredit any claim Mr. Rell may have had about being the real yatagarasu. I don't see why that's important, though.
And he had a way to prove that Mr. Rell was the guilty party of the embassy murder.
This organizer is a clue straight from Mr. Faraday. So we have that evidence then. if this is all the evidence Faraday has, then somewhere around here must be the evidence that shows that Rel killed the embassy dude.
Look, there's a picture stuck between these pages here.
The heck? It has a cool design. I like that thing. Appears to be a key.
And a rather ornate one at that. Just look at the design on the handle.
Which one's the handle exactly? I'm assuming the handle is the brown thing.
The craftsmanship is superb. Could this be the Yatagarasu's key that Mr. Faraday mentioned in his organizer?
The Yatagarasu's key? Detective Bod said something earlier. What's different about this time was the evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police, and sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Cadopian embassy, the Yatagarasu.
Yatagarasu sent the evidence?
Until now, the Yatagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I and a select few others knew about.
Mr. Faraday must have been trying to keep the secret of the keys safe.
He did a really good job then. As a prosecutor on both the Yatagarasu and smuggling ring, that's to be expected. So, whatever the Yatagarasu's key is... Let's check out the key. Let's just try to... not the key, the knife. It looks like the key, though. It's a knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday.
Who would have thought that such a beautiful piece of art could be used for such a cruel act?
It does look nice, I'll give it that. It's never crossed your mind that you use your writing craft for the wrong purposes. That's a funny hypocritical statement. That's odd.
What is it?
Mr. Faraday didn't mention anything about a knife in his organizer.
That certainly is odd.
The weapon that was used to kill a Cadopian embassy staff member was the gun. But if that's the case, then where did the knife in that used to murder Mr. Faraday come from? I thought that was Rel.
It was brought to the courthouse by Mr. Rel.
I thought that was what we believed. I mean, that's even said in my notes, right? Yeah, it was found in Rel's hands, and Faraday brought it as evidence. No, because it's not that easy to smuggle a weapon like that in here. Every person who enters the courthouse doors is checked thoroughly for contraband. Were you two checked then? Furthermore, the suspect was handcuffed. Was the kid checked for contraband too? I mean, like, there was a kid in your lobby for some dumb reason. Still not angry about that, by the way. Why are there kids in my lobby? Making it impossible for him to bring a knife as large as this inside.
In that case, how do you suppose this knife ended inside the courthouse?
I have no freaking clue. I need to think carefully here. There is nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer. However, it is a fact that this knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. Conversely, there's one item listed in Mr. Faraday's organizer that no one has claimed to have seen today. So in order to solve this mystery, I believe I'll need to take another good look at the evidence.
Miles Edgeworth, can I take the fact that you have yet to answer me to mean that you don't have any answer for me?
Actually, I do know the answer, Francisca.
Take that! But, then what is it?
One of the pieces of evidence we've been holding has been hiding a secret of its own. It was through this piece of evidence that the knife was brought into the courthouse. What I'm thinking is the Yatagarasu's key looks a lot like the knife. I even mistook it. So I'm just thinking, could the Yatagarasu's key be the knife? Plus, when he said that there's nothing in Mr. Rel's evidence bag, or Mr. Faraday's evidence bag, this was the only thing that wasn't here. So where is this, by the way? This Yatagarasu's key, Mr. Faraday. Hey, I was right for the first time! This is how the knife was brought to the courthouse.
You're not making any sense, Miles Edgeworth.
You just need to look a bit closer, Francisca, to see what I mean. What do you mean? Don't the color and orientation of the key's handle remind you of anything?
They do remind me of the knife.
Very good. Both the Yatagarasu's key in this photo and the murderous knife have this very unique design on their handles. Furthermore, even though Mr. Faraday mentions the Yatagarasu's key, the only object we found at the crime scene was the knife.
You don't seriously mean to say...
Take that, man! It appears that you finally caught up. This is the knife! The two pieces are in fact one and the same.
But that's impossible!
Since when was that impossible? Even if that's what you believe, we should still investigate its possibility. Now then, let us examine this knife in a little more detail. Are we even allowed to do that? Okay, I assume we're allowed to. What was that? Hey! I did it!
I'm a genius. I can't believe it turned to a key. To think there is such a trick to this. I want one of those. That is so cool. Just pull out a friggin' knife whenever you want to. And no one will notice. This piece of information is more critical than anything we learned up. Really? I wouldn't think so, but okay. Why not? Frankly, I'm shocked. Mr. Faraday only mentioned a key aspect of this piece of evidence in his organizer. It's possible that even he had no idea the key was hiding a knife blade inside. That's true. But if that's true, then only someone who knew about the key to the knife trick could have killed Mr. Faraday. That's actually true. Even among law enforcement, this key was top secret. We're looking for someone who knew even more about the key than even Mr. Faraday, which he was a prosecutor, so he must have known about some of the things. I don't quite know. Meaning that the only person it could be is the one who sent the key in the first place. Who was that? The great thief Yatagarasu. So wait, what? So Yatagarasu was the one who killed Rel. I think that's what we're saying. Then maybe Mr. Rel was really the Yatagarasu. And he was the one who killed Mr. Faraday. Isn't that the one possible scenario? That's true, but it doesn't seem, especially since Mr. Faraday was absolutely convinced that Mr. Rel was not the Yatagarasu. Now it's true, actually. He even said evidence and stuff about it. Besides, as Detective Bat said earlier. But when we questioned Rel about what was sent along with the white card, Rel had no idea what it was. I see. Alright then. I guess the person who knows the trick behind this key is someone else, and that person is the real Yatagarasu, but we don't know who that is. I'm thinking it might be. I'm not even quite sure. I feel like this. I'm not even gonna say it. It seems that this key is truly the key. I see what you did there, dude. It seems that this key is truly the key to solving this case. I didn't know Edgeworth had a funny bone. Oh, what am I saying? This anime, this TV show's hilarious. TV show. Video games hilarious! Alright. Let's get the gun. This gun, it was originally used to kill the Cadopian Embassy staff member. When the crime was reported, the responding police found Mr. Rel still holding it, which led to his immediate arrest. And then, this gun took the original shooter's life. However, hey, that is kind of ironic to think. Indeed. There doesn't seem to be anything else we can learn. Okay, so there's nothing there. What about this? I don't remember this at all. Took a quick look through these documents before the trial started. Well, I wasn't even afforded the opportunity to skim it. Jeez, I'm the one who's controlling this case. Suppose I should explain it to you then. Yes, you should. Perfectly in its entirety, if you please. Oh, dang. The night of September 8th, an embassy staff member was killed in front of the embassy. I'm really just going to go through what actually happened because I actually need to know. Staff member died of shock due to being shot in the heart. Mac Rel was brought in that night as a suspect and thoroughly questioned, because the murder weapon was found on him, for which he was arrested on the spot. Simpleton of a man, that's what he was. Perhaps he was, for the weapon wasn't the only incriminating evidence we had. Mr. Rel was caught in the act of film by a security camera. He was an even bigger simpleton than I thought. I mean, it's really hard to see some of these cameras. I mean, most of them are in anywhere. I think I'm probably getting spied on right now. I know you're here. Miles will save me. We're gonna forget I said that. I can't believe he didn't know this is a security camera. The Cadopian Embassy's security system is supposedly very well designed. He may have simply not been aware that there was a camera in the area. Yeah, that. So, have you seen the contents of the video for yourself? Yes, the surveillance video the security camera took, dang, was played during the trial by Mr. Faraday. You can clearly identify Mr. Rel on it. Even the sound of the gunshot was crystal clear. Dang, that's pretty good. So the footage included sound, huh? I don't think I'd ever want to see the moment of someone's death in your life. Yeah, me neither. Yeah, my words exactly. That's kind of deadly. That's odd. We're short one piece of evidence. We are? And the piece that's missing is the surveillance video that was played in court. Oh yeah, that thing! I forgot about that. The surveillance video. How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go? I don't know. The video is showing the moment in which Mr. Rel committed the murder. Where could it have gone indeed? That's not good. Are you done with your inspection of the evidence? Yes, I'm finished. However, Your Honor, I am missing a single piece of prosecutorial evidence. That's a word? Your Honor, where you derelict in... Okay, then. New words everywhere. What? No, I dare not lick my duties. What do you take me for? An idiot? An imbecile? What word do you want? No, Your Honor, the most important piece of evidence in today's trial. I thought that was the knife.
The surveillance video is not amongst the evidence you laid out for me. But I brought Mr. Faraday's whole bag with me from the crime scene. So it wasn't in his bag? Maybe the tape is still somewhere at the crime scene? No, because then Bod would have noticed it, or someone would have noticed it. There's something wrong here. Something about this missing piece of evidence. It would appear that for me to find the answers I seek, I will have to pay another visit to the scene of the crime. Defendant lobby number 2. How? We're not allowed. How are we going to do that? And if that's who I think it is! Anyway, I guess that's all for this episode. So next episode, we're going to see what the heck Wolf Lion Dude does, because I'm pretty sure that's Wolf Lion Dude. And thanks a lot for watching. This is 9362 signing off.